Whenever people talks about 3D AI, they say, yeah, it looks good, but mesh is trash. I got a lot of comments about it, and honestly, there is no point to show wireframe when we do high poly generations because it's like extremely dense 1 to 2 million polygons. But low poly is different story, and 3D AI actually already moved further here than most people realize. So in this video, we're gonna do proper, up-to-date low poly mesh tests, 3 best tool, different settings, side by side, no texture, no destruction. Today, only wireframes. We are going to see how close it gets to real production ready low poly, and in the end I'll share a link so you can check it yourself. Steph here, and let's talk about low poly generations. Okay, so first of all, what tools do we have? On Top 3D, this is what we have listed. We have Tripo, Hunyon, Tripo again, and Rodin. This is like your votes, guys, and I would say actually what worth to check is these 3 tools, since rest either reuses the same, more like remesh, or 3D AI Studio actually has Tripo and Hunyon inside it. Mesh and Varco more like a remesh, but what option it really gives you? Let's start with Rodin. In Rodin you can upload an image, or you can actually go here and upload the model, which is interesting, but let me show you the basic process. So you do sort of pre-generation, and after the model is created you have several options, like you can split it into the parts, you can redo it up to 50 times, which is cool, you can modify it, but what we are interested, there is a confirm button. So this is like pre-mesh or like high poly starting points. What you can do is triangulate, quad mesh, or the thing that we're looking for is smart low poly, right? And here we have 2 options, type and density. So for this video I created them in quads in both density, low and high. That was actually quite long. Rodin takes really sometimes up to 10 minutes and is the longest. Okay, when that step is done, we can actually apply texture if we want, or we can just download this low poly version, up to you. Now next one is Tripo. Here you have actually 2 ways of doing that. There is an actual retopology. So how do you get there? Before we need a high poly model, same as in Rodin and in Hunyon as well. You can also upload your model, high poly model, low poly model, anything. Then let's generate this, which should be high poly. With your high poly generated or your own, you can go to retopology, and here you have the smart low poly, which obviously makes sense to use. You can do it in quads and triangles. Here in Triple you can actually control the poly count. You can actually set it max 10k, but still for some props that's very good. However, I recommend auto, and with auto it can be more than 10k for some reason, and I think it's the best results with auto. But there's one more way to do that, is with smart mesh, and smart mesh is something really unique and very cool. Is where from image you create low poly model right away. Right now only available to do trees, and there is no auto poly count. You can actually have to decide what you want. Let's say I think for this sneaker like something like 8,000 should be okay. And the most mind-blowing thing here is that it takes just 5 to 7 seconds to generate it. Like, while I'm talking, it is actually done. And the mesh quality is actually very interesting, sometimes too good. Okay, that was Tripo, and the crowd favorite is of course Hunyon. Why? Because it's free. Yeah, there is like Chinese version, global version. I actually use Chinese version to create set because they give more credits in studio. So there is 2 ways to do it. You can go to laboratory, and there is 3D smart topology. Here you can create it right away from image. You can upload your own model. The thing is, Hunyon, same as Rodin, don't give you any control over the poly count. You can only select triangles or quads, but we are not going to use this one because it gives you way less control than Studio. In Studio you can choose the model, make sure that this is the latest, and you at least can say like, is it like high, low, or medium? And this is very important. I really recommend to try retopology here, not in laboratory. and you'll see why. For sake of this video, Hunyan only creates low poly, so in Studio you cannot create low poly right away. You have to build it on top of high poly, but you can upload your high poly here. I created low poly with low and high settings, only quads. And before we actually start comparing them, let me talk a little bit about prices. In Rodin, it costs 2 credits and each credit is almost cost $1. So most expensive, definitely Rodin, it costs around $2 for one low poly generation. Next up, we do have Hunyan. I mean, yes, it's free for you if you use it here in Studio. In case you want to use it in API, then it will be 75 cents. Actually almost reaching $1 for this one generation. And the cheapest is Tripo. So smart mesh generation is about $0.25, and for retopology it will be around 0.35 cents. All right, now let's take a look what it gives you. I actually wipe coded this nice view where we can compare them all together at once, or we can choose what we want to compare. And link will be in the description, guys, for this very same. It will be on Top 3 AI as usual. Okay, so the first model is this. So what do we have here? We have zipper here and here and here. Actually, very good model for this, right? So we do have some stuff around there and there. Let's see how it will be handled. We have Hunyan low and high, Rodin low and high, and Tripo. Retopology and smart mesh. So let's start inspecting. From the front, we already see some artifacts here and here. Yeah, so you can see the difference right away. Hunyan low and high. Like this transparent stuff, it means that the polygons are inverted, right? So from that you can see it's covered. So yeah, bad a problem. I would say I don't really like it anywhere. Okay, if the side of the sleeves, more or less, maybe this retopology. But again, this is just a mess. But I mean, it actually keeps the shape. So no, maybe I actually like this for topology. This one is just like unlogical pieces, you know. This one too. I actually think Hunyan High also did not a bad job in terms of this side. And this straps here. And this one, this parts. Tripo and Hunyan actually doing okay. If there were not that hole and maybe like better mesh, I would say Hunyan, but again we cannot control it there. But this one I don't like in terms of this parts. Yes, the mesh is less dense. Let me know, guys, what you actually think. In here, really bad one. Like why to create these parts like that dense? Let's inspect the hood actually. So here you can see the difference in approaches. So Rodin have it capped, which I think is actually the best approach. Hunyan, however, created double-sided. So I don't think that's good approach at all. Like why to do that? Like, I don't know. Like, so it is double-sided. I mean, I understand the hood must be double-sided. By the way, in terms of geometry, it is more or less fine here. Rodin definitely no. Like it's not a hood, right? So definitely pass. This retopology version in Tripo definitely not okay. Here, actually, in Tripo Smart Mesh, you can see that it's not a double-sided, which is cool. This is like how I expect low poly be. And in terms of logic of the mesh, I really like P1. Like, it's really, really, really good. Even though the mesh is not perfect in some places, or like often, but in terms of logic, I am really amazed. So my personal top here, Tripo P1 and Hunyan low. And just for you guys, I'll do the quick turnaround so you can see what's happening here. But this double-sided stuff, like no reason at all for me. Let's move on. We do have a character, right? Okay, so here's the character. Let's start with the head. Okay, so no eyeballs at all anywhere. Don't know why. Should be like at least something. I guess we might be looking for loops or something, but I don't see loops anywhere. This is like not humanoid face, so I think it should be like around the mouse, which is big. What do I like the most? It is really hard to say for me what is good. If we consider this as optimized just low poly version, I pretty much like them all. So let's see what shape I like the more. And I would say actually P1 again stands out. I like this shape more. Here's my reference. It sort of matches like the idea of my reference or how I feel about my reference. And Hunyon definitely gonna do on low poly. There's no eyes whatsoever. So I would say like Hunyon High does better job here. Moving down, what do we see here? If I were to create this parts, I'm not sure if there's like too low poly, then I probably create it like this, like solid, like P1 and high Hunyon low. But if it will be like main character, maybe I did it like this, like the topology version here. Here it misses one part. Rodin actually creates something not matching the reference. Let's see details. This is actually good everywhere, but you can see like these segments there are quite prominent. So I would say this one I like more. This one is definitely how I would approach it. Something like that, definitely. This two merged and Hunyon High, same as you can see. Smart Mesh Triple, also so-so. What about joints? So we do have joints here on arms and knees. Let's take a look at the reference. So they do have prominent depths, right? Like joints. There's a problem here in Triple. Oh, actually, like why it created this stuff. Definitely a problem. I actually like the topology here. I guess like it highlights the shape in the nice way. Like, yeah, I mean, this is my favorite. And Hunyon, this definitely gonna do job, but it misses like the details, right? So this is high. Again, for low, I can say, okay, whatever. Maybe that makes sense, so just bake it. But for high, it misses the details. I would say in this, my favorite will be triple retopology. And the second place, maybe I gonna give Hunyon low for the low poly version. Yeah, it's actually good for low poly as a base. Next test will be the head. Okay, I intentionally did it a little bit styled. We do have these rings here. Yeah, we are focused on the face. It will be loops whatsoever. Here are removed, so it's not creating messy geometry. Okay, let's start the examination. This one will be easier. Like start with lashes. Okay, broken stuff, no lashes. This is actually bad, right? So like this is a lash, double-sided geometry. Wow, no. So no, retopology, no. And this is the only one that I would say, yes, it's like how it usually done with the lashes, like one plane geometry, like this is how it actually done. And it's like one-sided, which is great. And this is the reason why I used P1 to create this face rigged character. Let's check the overall shape also. Yeah, Rodin failed it. I mean, yeah, you see the shape? This is not the shape it should be 100%. So let's remove the Rodin. Now Hunyon on top, triple on the bottom. In terms of shape, I like this one the most. This one like I think like this is also okay, but simplified. Hunyon is extruded the face too much, I think. What about loops? I don't see loops really anywhere. Like it tries, no, those are not loops. So usually on humanoid face, there should be loops like that around the mouth, maybe around the nose, around the eyes. And they're like sort of nicely matching. But we don't really have anything like that. So like I see something close on Hunyon low here, but it merging with the nose and stuff. So unfortunately, no loops. What if we take a look inside? You can actually see that eyes in Smart Mesh are half spheres, which is nice. Eyes here in P1 are separated, or sometimes I also saw spheres. And in some cases, if you set the bigger polygon limit, it can create the mouse with teeth. You can do it here if you control it with the poly count. So in terms of mesh, this one is the best for me. Second, I think will be triple because the shape here is better. Hunyon also good, but for some parts only. Next up, a sneaker. Yeah, why not? It's very clean how we expect the topology here. I'm sorry, but these guys were just rotated only here, so I cannot just fix that. We're gonna unsynchronize Rodin. Let's actually take a look on Rodin first and see if it's worth it to check it. Okay, oh, I see so much terrible stuff. So in Rodin low, all the laces merge to geometry like that. Perhaps this part not okay, this one closed. For low, actually that might make sense. What about high? So we do have holes, still laces merged, covered, This is definitely not the high density, low poly. It should be like inside part, like in Hunyuan, definitely. You can also, guys, see the amount of polygons here. Let's hide the Rodin for a while. Let's compare our Tripo and Hunyuan. Something definitely went wrong with Hunyuan. We have this extreme density spaces for no reason. But for laces, you can see it's interesting. They're sort of like separated. That actually happens everywhere, even like on P1. Yeah, it's actually not bad. But if we take a look on reference, here you go. It should be like crossed, right? So this one is straight, crossed, crossed. What do we see in reality? On Hunyuan low, they're straight. On Hunyuan high, it's sort of crossed, but like very bad. Here as well, I see a mess, like crossed, straight, straight, cross, straight. Yeah, and here as well, I think it's also sort of a mess. Everyone failed, really. But that's a good try. Which one I actually like the most? I don't know. I really don't know. Maybe this one. Hunyuan I like the most. Sort of like the cleanest for me. Yeah, I gotta vote for this guy. Let's say if laces could be more logical, or maybe if like you redo that part, yeah, I can do the job. Let me know in the comments if you agree with me or not. Here's the next reference, a sports bike. So what do we have here? Okay, Rodin decided that it will rotate the model. I didn't ask about it, but fine. Yeah, Tripo topology failed it. Let's see if anyone else failed it that much so we can skip them. Actually, no. No one failed it more. Okay, let's examine this spring here. So on the reference, it looked like this. So it should be definitely somehow visible. So I would say Hunyuan high is nice. For Hunyuan low, for very low version, I think this is also right. This one is sort of fine, but like this is better. And Rodin completely ignored it, right? And it's thin. It should be thicker. What about the body? Actually, I like the body here right away. It's sort of like better distribution. I don't know why, I just like it more aesthetically. And Hunyuan and Rodin, they look like a bad mesh, just like a bad mesh. What about wheels? Hunyuan does nice job here. Actually, Rodin did nice job with wheels too. That's first time. Also, I see some artifacts here. So if I had to choose, I would say Hunyuan 3.1 is closest. What is this small piece here? Because of overall composition. But I would say 30-40% there of what I expect from the model. It's like a lot of things that you're gonna need to redo. Like you can take wheels, you can take some stuff that will work. I also like P1 again, like the way it makes this logical meshes. And one more final example. So the reference looked like this. We have some details here. There's like transparent part and we have the barrel, and I definitely expect the barrel to be hollow, right? At least like this. And Hunyuan made it capped. The only one to make it like really hollow is P1. And I also want to show you that, like, see, there's no extra edges. This is actually very good optimized. What about this bottom part? Okay, so there should be like some sort of copper stuff on top of this. This piece is actually used to clean the barrel, if I'm not mistaken, or like remind me that stuff. Which one is the closest? The closest is actually topology, but it's sort of messy. This parts here, like very messy. So this one will not do the job at all. Some very weird parts here on Rodin. I actually like low maybe gonna do that. Let's hide Rodin high and Tripo topology since I don't really like them. Let's look at these guys. So this part on the bottom is more or less. Hunyuan tend to create this some very unlogical pieces like this. Very weird polygon distribution. And here as well. Tripo P1 however like really reduced a lot of polygons. That's maybe because I set the poly count low. What about this trigger part? You can tell that here and here and here it's more of like just mesh, right? And only here it's like a logical thing, right? It's like a trigger, like it goes inside a little bit, and yeah, it makes the shape right. That's actually good. But on the same P1 there's sort of hole here, and I really don't like this part, how it's done. There is like a cover on top of it. I don't know, like I really want it like to be something like this, like Hunyuan. So, and Hunyuan should be just on top, definitely not creating a hole. Maybe, I mean, good try, but not that. So in this test, I would say AI is like
60-70% close to nice low poly. For logical mesh, P1 is definitely my favorite, but Hunyuan also sometimes does nice job. Overall, still my conclusion is it's a really good base in some cases. Again, it's a really good base to start. Especially to my surprise, characters are really good and some simple props without a lot of details. And of course, again, my advice is to make them in parts, then read topology in parts and combine them later. That will definitely save a lot of time. Well, I hope I gave you a big picture of what's happening with low poly right now. Let me know in the comments what you think about it. Like and subscribe, and see you in the next video.